Honestly, during the game, I was a little scared because of how big the other guys were.
His girlfriend called, crying, screaming, hollering. You couldn't understand nothing she was saying.
Fourth down, a goal line, and it was a linebacker. They had ball, and I went in for the tackle, broke my neck.
And she told me Shane could not feel anything from neck down.
Darkness, and then when everybody got back up, I couldn't get up.
The only way to get this type of injury is a flexion compression, so he must have led with his head and hit the other kid or the ground and basically had a fracture, subluxation of the spine.
After they got him in for x-ray, they knew, we knew.
A piece of the front portion of one of the vertebrae is kind of sheared off.
Dr. Zavatsky, he's awesome. I think my last words to him before he went into surgery was, just bring my son back to me.
We immediately took him to the operating room that night. We restored the normal alignment. He's a young guy, so these are factors that are kind of to his benefit.
What's the worst case scenario when he opens his eyes? If you didn't. And that's when they proceeded to tell me that he could be blind. He may not never speak. He may be just a vegetable. But on the other hand, if he works 3 hard and maybe 3 to 6 months, he may start walking again.
I had to let him know that, again, not everyone is going to be paralyzed for the rest of their life, and they get function back. So make sure you work hard.
I was determined. I wasn't gonna let myself end up like that. I don't think I could live with myself like that. I mean, look, if I was in a wheelchair, able to move my hands and everything, I think I could live with that. I don't think I could live with being a vegetable. I just think that I guess I got lucky, God was on my side on this one. I guess you can call it a miracle.
We talked about this being a miracle and the fact that I think there were kind of little miracles that all kind of came together to make this a great story for Shane. And I think the first part and one of the biggest parts is I think the injury itself. So although he had a devastating injury and a spinal cord injury that left him paralyzed, it obviously wasn't that bad, because regardless of how young you are, or your genetics, if there's that much damage to the spinal cord, it doesn't matter how hard you try or how good of surgeon you have fix them back together. It's the injury itself. And so I think that even though he had a bad injury, he got lucky.
When you have to step up to the plate, you have to step up to the plate. A lot of people say, I have no idea how I could walk in your shoes. Many times have I seen something on TV about someone's child, and I've thought to myself, there's no way I could go through that, until it happens and you don't have a choice. You can't turn around, you can't turn a page, you can't even close a door. It's still there. You have to look it in the eyes and face it and do what you have to do to get through it.
Have you ever heard that expression, what doesn't kill you will only make you stronger? That's basically what I'm applying that to. I know what it feels like to lose everything now.
The whole time I stood there and I rubbed his legs and his arms, and I worked his ankles and his toes and exercised his limbs and just rubbed and talked to him.
But I wouldn't focus on like a whole thing, like my whole hand. It'd be like one finger at a time. And by the next morning, that finger or whatever I was trying to move was moving,
Don't take life for granted. And always let your kids know that you love them every day.
Thank you for sticking by my side when I needed you. I'm gonna play Ode to Joy by Beethoven.